Good morning. Well, run on Sunday, fix on Monday, right? Oh well, we're attempting to fix that cylinder. We've got a couple of different options and things that we're working on. First thing we're going to do is try and fix it. It's cleaned up some threads on the cylinder stuff. We're going to go out and cut the end of the cylinder off and see if we can't get that piece to bite in there for at least a temporary hold. There is a new cylinder about 2 hours away at a dealer that we'll go get it if we have to. This is what we got fixed. So the plan is to cut that off a little bit and get to some good threads. But if you look at this side, this is black and there's bigger flats on there. I think it's already been cut off once and fixed, and well, we're gonna make it work. We might end up tack welding the eye on there just so it doesn't pull apart, but I gotta go get some more tools, and Dad's gonna cut that. We're gonna end up with a new cylinder by the end of the day, but we're gonna make this work in the meantime. If we can get it in there, it's not coming out. Oh, that's a lot.
There's a lot of gap to fill.
Yeah.
If you heat it up, it'll come.
Well, I'm not so sure that it's threaded in there as much as jammed and wedged in there, but it's in there, and I don't think it's going to pull out, at least not super easy. So, we should tighten our jam nut up and put it back together and see what happens, and then go get a new cylinder. All right. Well, Dad's going to raise this boom up. It's sitting on the ground, settled overnight, and we're going to try and push it around and line that up rather than pulling the cylinder out to get it lined up. So, we'll get there. See what happens when he lifts it up. Oh, all right. Got it. It didn't pull out immediately, so that's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we gotta tighten that nut up. Oh, I didn't bring our impact back. Oh well. We are back in business. Booms are unfolded. Now, we got the agitation running, stirring our product mix back up. It should be okay, but may have settled out a little overnight, so we'll give it a second to agitate, and then we'll get on with spraying. Well, so far so good. The priority here is getting the tank empty, which we've only got a couple 100 gallons left on, so we should get that done, and then we'll fold up and see how all that goes. If everything looks all right, we may do some work today. I've got one or two more fields that I would like to get sprayed before potential rain tonight. Some of the other stuff isn't really quite ready. Even this corn is a little bit smaller. So the idea with this fungicide pass is to do it at V5, which is 5 leaf collars, right? And our corn is there. Even this stuff here that's not as canopied and smaller than what the rest of it we sprayed yesterday was, it is V5. It's just it's just not as big and canopied because of the soil type differences and stuff, and genetic differences maybe a little bit. But I typically like to wait on this application until the corn is bigger and canopied, because any chemical that hits the dirt isn't doing me very much good. I need it to hit the plant. So I like to wait until V7, 8 sometimes, so it's canopied more and you get more leaf tissue that you're protecting. But the agronomist and the chemical salesmen and experts will tell me that it is better to spray it at this V5 even if you're not getting as much on the plant, because that's when it's setting those rows around and a little bit more critical. So yeah, we'll go with this, and we'll do some experiments on some timing things too. Okay, we just ran out, so we ended up doing 30 out of the 37 acres in this field. and I've got a strip right here in the middle. Well, that'll be a good test strip for us. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if this thing's gonna fold up okay. We'll lift our boom up, and then you gotta hit the little foot pedal and start folding. It folds the wing tips in, then it folds it over, and eventually it'll start coming around. It should fold fine, really. It's the unfolding that's going to be the issue, because that's where it's pulling on those threads instead of pushing. So yeah, seems to be okay, like it's going to hold. I did get a new cylinder ordered. The dealer that has it is in Findlay, Ohio, which is actually where this sprayer came from. But they had 2 of them. They're about 2 hours away. However, they are now tied to the John Deere dealer that is literally across the section from our farms in Berkey. They're the same outfit now. That one got bought out. So they're going to get it to that location tomorrow, and we'll go and get it from them. Look, it's the elusive and ever scarce Brock. What's up, Brock? Are you going to get this stuff out of the back of our truck here? Good work. Is that full? I didn't know that there was fuel in there. Okay. Yeah, get that stuff out of there. Then what are you going to do?
Whatever your dad tells me.
Oh, he hasn't given you a list?
Probably send it to the anhydrous bar, that's what he said.
Okay. Well, I have 2 things, right? And so here's your jobs for the next month. You can spend half the day or however much you want mowing. Roadsides, lanes, whatever. And then the other half of the day cleaning equipment. So we're going to start with the anhydrous bar, and then we got to do some maintenance to it and fix it up a little bit. And then we got to put that away and get the corn planter out and go through that. Sound good?
Go through the corn planter today, or just...
No. I'm just saying in the next week. Or 2 or 3, or until we get the combine out. Getting the sprayer loaded up here. That's a little scary. Just saying. Brock has decided to power wash, so he's driving it up there to unfold it. I guess he's doing it. Okay, we're loaded up and ready to go spray another load. I picked up a rider, and this one's going to be a little complicated. So we are back to using some of our foliar feeds that I did not have in the last tank, but I want to make sure we get some test strips and some side-by-sides and not just spray the whole field like we did yesterday. So we're actually going to go to a couple of different fields. We've got enough in the tank for 80 acres and fungicide and the octane, which is the sugar product, and the XR5 sulfur product. I only have 40 acres worth of the Inferno, and so
the boxes make the
we
jugs.
threw the boxes on, and when we get down to half a tank, we will dump that in. The jug there is some Nitro Ultra that was left over from starter. There's enough of that for 10 acres foliarly. So when we get down to 10 acres worth, we'll add that to the mix. And we're going to do this in 2 different fields, so we have some side-by-side.
I'll take care of the box so they don't fall. If they won't, because the ladder's...
Okay, good, thank you. It is fairly important that we document all of this stuff right. So we've got our Quadris, XR5 sulfur, and the octane. That's what we've got in now. When we add that other stuff, we'll have to add products to that. But should be good. So we're gonna do this field. There's just a little 12 acres here. We're gonna do the whole thing. Then we're gonna do 15 acres or so in the back field, and then we're gonna jump to another farm and do some more elsewhere. And then we'll come back and finish that without any of the foliar feeds and just the Quadris, so we know whether it's those additives or the fungicide that's making the difference. Now that front field is kind of odd shaped and a pain in the butt to spray, so we ended up with like 7 of the 13 or 14 acres there.
Why did you see that?
Because don't worry about it. Anyway, we're in the back field now. This field here, easy to spray except for this is the one we tiled last year, and I can feel every single one of those tile lines. If you look at our map, all those black lines, those are the tile lines we put in last year, and we're bouncing over every single one of them. So it's a little rough, driving a little slower, probably tearing our boom up. This is what it is. So we're going to try and get 10-15 acres here, and then we'll move on and come back later. Oh, it's so bouncy. Anyway, we've made 2 rounds here, and we're up to 20 acres. It'll be a little over by the time we get to the end, but that'll work.
Bouncy, 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 bouncy.
You're making it worse, jumping up and down.
So as you've probably already seen in the video, I am back to the farm after a couple day hiatus. But if you can believe it or not, we're back to cleaning stuff. Nathan's done with the anhydrous bar, so it's all dirty. It's not terribly dirty, but it's dirty. It's not going to take long to clean it, so we're gonna break out the power washer here, clean this all up, get the dirt off of it. It's dirt that's probably just gonna come right off, especially I don't know, it's gonna be easy, quick, painless. I'm probably gonna hit the tractor too, because, you know, why not? I mean, it's already a beautiful tractor, but why not make it a clean, beautiful tractor? And another thing we want to do is go through all of these. We know we need beaver tails on all of them. We don't know about scrapers, and I'm guessing blades. No, they're still huge. So we're just gonna look through it, make a parts list of what we need, and I'd rather do that when it's clean than when it's dirty. Less chance of missing stuff. So we're gonna power wash it here while Nathan sprays out a couple loads of chemicals, and then if we're done here, we'll go mow. But I'll give you a little time lapse and see you in a bit.
Okay, what have we sprayed here? 11.5 acres in this field, but we're down to 600 gallons, 599, which means half of our tank, which means we've sprayed 40, and we can spray 40 more, and it's time to put in the stuff that's in the boxes. All right, well, we've sprayed what we're gonna spray in this field, that much. It's like Phil is gonna get the mower out. Brock missed his chance. If you're wondering, yes. Yes, he has counted that far. 1,000 maybe? I don't know. Some really nice corn in this field as well. I don't know if it'll show up in the camera, but we're starting to see some striping. This is the only field where I did a split planter, so half of the planter was one hybrid, half the planter was another hybrid, and there's a little color difference. That side's a little bit darker green than this side is, if you can see it as you look across there. When we get down to 150 gallons left, that's 10 acres, and we're gonna go dump in that one last jug that we've got. There is some really nice corn on this farm. This is the first field we planted. We're just about done. I did dump that extra jug in there.
This corn is
we're ending up with just a round of it.
This is the goodest corn.
It's the goodest corn?
Yeah.
How far did you count?
1,000.
1,000. Did you do the whole thing? All of the numbers? You didn't skip any?
Nope.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Hey.
And we're going to end up in the back of the field here, and our lane is right there to go up to the farm, so we're just going to go that way rather than going all the way back down to the road. We got back. Dad's moving a little dirt with the little scraper. Rylan wants to ride with him, so we got to fill in along the foundation of the building here, push some dirt along that, and grade this all off. So that's what he's working on. What are you doing? It's looking pretty good. I see that. That's good. I know. All right. I'll keep working on it. You might fold it up so you can get the bottom of these wings and stuff a little better too, but. Okay, we're about to the end of this tank. Got 150 gallons in there, so I have not been perimetering these fields. We're back in that field with the tile lines. I did yesterday on some because there was some really good corn that I thought needed it, but a lot of times the end rows they're just not going to be very good anyway, so I don't bother doing the end rows with fungicide. That is one of the things I really like about this pass is if I miss some spots, it doesn't really matter.
So I'm done cleaning this for now. Just looking over what I know we need to replace. Where's one I can see? These beaver tails right here. They're wore down. So that's one that's been on there all season, and it's still that big. Probably gonna replace it, and then there's that one. That's all that's left of it right there. So it's wore out. One over here, that's all that's left of it. It's wore out. We didn't think we were gonna need boots or scrapers, whatever you want to call them, but there are a couple. This doesn't look terrible. It's getting wore down and stuff like that right there. These are the tubes for the anhydrous, and as you can see here, not too bad. But let me go to a one that you can see. I think there was one down here on this other side that it's getting wore all the way back to the tube, so it's going to start wearing down on that. I think we're going to replace some of those. That one has already started wearing down at the tube there, so I'm guessing we're going to do some of them, not all of them. But Nathan, I think, is about done with the sprayer load that he has, and when he gets back, we'll make a parts list and probably start taking it apart. It shouldn't take that long. Boots we might have, or not boots, beaver tails we might have. I don't know if we'll have enough. Boots we might have some, but again, I don't know how many he's planning on replacing. But it's a lot better. It's, like I said, it's not a tractor. It's a tillage equipment. I'm gonna call it tillage. So we're not super worried about the cleanliness of it. Want it to be nice, but not super worried. Want to get all the electronics and stuff like that cleaned up, which we did. So we'll see what Nathan thinks.
All right, we're done here. I see I've got a leak on this one section control valve right there. It was dripping a little bit, I noticed. So we're gonna go back to the farm and unfold it and take a look at it. Something right in there. Something tells me that the clamp missing here may have something to do with my leak. Meh, seems reasonable. We'll just replace the clamp. Okay, I'm not sure where we left off, but boys and I and Dad went to go get lunch and run some errands and stuff, come back. Brock is, well, he's working on that right now, but we got this pretty well cleaned up. Probably still got a little bit more to do, but we were looking at some of the wear stuff and seeing what parts need to be replaced. And the beaver tails are all shot. It's amazing. Brock, maybe he recorded this for me already, but anyway, here's the beaver tails and what was left of them. This one is okay. The rest of these, shot, and some of them are like completely gone. So those are gonna all get replaced. We'll keep this one around for a spare, but that's all that's good for. And then the boots are actually quite a bit more worn than I would have thought. So this piece here, you can see it's actually wearing into the tube right here. This one is worn pretty good. It's not quite into the tube, but it's very thin along here. So that is likely going to get replaced. All of them, all the way through, are about that way. And when you compare it to what a new one looks like, you can see it's got these kind of wings on here that line up with where that beaver tail mounts there. And they're gone. There is nothing left of that. So we're going to replace all of those as well and start fresh with new boots and new scrapers. The blades, however, are okay. They're about an inch or so worn off of them, which is some, but it's not the end of the world. So those will run just fine. For as worn as some of this stuff is after a year, I mean, it was working really well. Everything was sealing just fine, but we're going to start fresh for next year. So it is high maintenance, a lot of wear parts and stuff, but it's all off season, right? We didn't have to do any of this stuff in season. I wasn't breaking shanks and having to stop and fix stuff all day like we did with the old bar. It's all stuff we can do now while we've got time. All right, so there is rain coming in shortly. We're gonna hold off on spraying any more fungicide. I got a load and a half to do yet, but the corn where I wanna go is, it could be sprayed, but it's not critical that we get there right now. So we're gonna hold off on that. We have another project. So up there in that irrigated field, we've got to take some corn out, which seems irrational, but trust me, it's for the greater good. And so I need to kill some, and I thought about just mowing it off, and I thought maybe I should spray it off, because we've got to make a lane down the center, right? Center lane, and I need to take some out where I mistakenly planted in some of the traveler lanes that I shouldn't have. You ready for a blast from the past? Let me show you what we're gonna do. This is ridiculous. So we've got this fancy little sprayer that we made for our gator, right? Here's the problem. It has a 10-foot boom. I need to spray 10 feet, but any overlap would kill corn that I can't kill. Don't need to. What, dude? What? Because Brock put it in here. Anyway, so I thought maybe I could take a piece of cardboard or a sign or something and put a shield on here, but it's high risk because any drift is going to kill corn that I don't want to kill. So, you know how we're going to controlled spray? Rope wick. Rope wick. This is old school technology here. What do you think? Gonna work?
I don't know. Depends how good you are.
I don't know either.
Stop every 100 feet and put some more.
You think that often? How
I have
often?
no idea.
I don't know either.
1993.
Yeah, 1993 was the last time this thing was used before Roundup Ready soybeans. Basically, the beans would grow taller than, or the weeds would grow taller than the beans. You would saturate that in glyphosate, go out and wipe it on the weeds, and the beans wouldn't get any, and they wouldn't die because they weren't Roundup Ready at the time. Hemp dog bane.
Hemp dog, what is it?
You know better than I do.
Well, we don't have any more of it.
And thistles, right? I remember thistles being a problem. Anyway, we saturate that with chemical and we go out there and wipe it on the corn that we want to die, and it should die, I think.
Why is it that?
Well, no, this
Why is that on the
chapter
gator?
chemical down here.
Can I put it in there?
Yeah.
Just fill that up?
Why is
There's
everything
small
down
slits in the
there?
pipe.
That's what I was gonna
Okay.
say, either get
I
that-
assumed that, but I didn't know how much I needed to do.
Get the hose and
All right, so there is a little tube right there that runs inside there along the structural part of it that the fluid can flow through, and then there's holes in it that it allows the liquid out to soak up that rope wick sponge deal. So we have plumbed in another line up over to here where my handgun would normally attach, and all I have to do is turn on my pump and it will pressurize that, and it should soak it up. And if it drips off, I don't care, because it's just going to be on the corn that we're trying to kill anyway. You gotta turn the key on, Brock.
yeah, no, which one?
That one. Oh yeah, open that up. And eventually this should get wet. I don't know. I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. Our threads are leaking because I didn't put any sealant on them. Imagine that. it's dripping. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It's,
We're trying it.
I mean, that side's good, but we don't have anything down here. I don't know. So I think this is gonna work. We soaked it up with a hose just to get it all saturated and stuff. No, don't touch it. And we're putting the herbicide in that kills corn. This is clethodim. And we're gonna leave it fairly concentrated. I don't know, maybe 10 gallons of water? 10, 12, something like that. All right, well, we're
Turn up the gator?
we got some, well, I don't know, let's go. There's rain coming, so we're gonna go do this. We might get caught in the rain, who knows. Hopefully we get it done with an hour to spare and it gets to soak in and it actually works. It may work, it may not, I don't know. Okay, good job.
Oh, I didn't even, the starter didn't.
Yep, it
Brock
worked.
coming?
Nope, Brock's not coming. All right, well, we just came in off the road to our first path here, and well, we got some on this corn, so that's the goal. Is that gonna kill it? I don't know. I don't know. I think so. I think so. Oh, we got her saturated up pretty good. She's dripping. So I have a pressure regulator valve on there with a return to the tank for agitation and stuff that I opened up to keep it down to like 10 psi so that it's real low, so we're not pushing as much to the rope, so hopefully it doesn't drip so bad, and we can leave our switch on a little bit more. But I can turn the pump on and off with a switch right there on the dash, so that's easy. This spot right here is one of why we're doing this. I I meant to leave a lane here and I forgot. So then when I was planting, I like had to pull out halfway through and turn around, go back to the end and skip over. And I need to kill these 4 rows of corn all the way to the end is essentially what we got to do. I want to spray it, but if I spray it and it drifts, I don't want to kill this row, but I do that one, and so I needed to control it. So hence rope wick. Hopefully we can take out 2 rows at a time. We'll turn around, come back, take the next 2 out, and this will all work like I want it to. Oh, this might not work. We're gonna get rain done. We're gonna hurry up and do it. We gotta do this center path as well. I know a lot of you have asked why I didn't just plant around this. Well, at the rows, it goes across the rows, right? So it's not so easy to just plant around it. And I could theoretically set up an interior boundary so that my row shutoffs would shut off, but that's a lot harder than doing this. And I need it to be planted when we have beans here, so it's not a big deal. I mean, my original plan was just to come up here with a mower and mow a 15-foot path anyway, so I'm just trying to kill the corn rather than just knock it down, because it will keep coming back if I just mow it off. Well, it's not raining hard yet, but just getting out to check. Seems like we're still doing a good job. Don't walk any farther. We're getting a good chemical coverage on there. I think it's working. I don't know. We're almost done, so there was another lane here that I missed. I remembered it, but clear down on the end. I forgot. Get in! Let's go! Does this corn look darker green today than it did yesterday? Man, that looks really good. Like, really, really good. Alright, well, we are done with what we needed to do. I don't know, we got a lot of chemical on there. We'll see if it rains soon enough to just wash it all off, and it was completely pointless. Is what it is, but we're gonna head back to the farm before we get completely poured on. Well, it started raining significantly harder on our way home, but we made it. We'll see. Hopefully that chemical doesn't all wash off. It was not raining nearly as hard up the field. Whether it is there now or not, I don't know, but we'll see. A few days and we'll know whether it worked or not. If it didn't, well, hey, we ran over a bunch and we'll go up there with the mower and we'll take care of it. But we need to order some parts for our anhydrous bar. So maybe I will look at working on that right now. And what else do I need to do? Ow, you little punk. Throw that at me. Yeah. But we need them new boots and beaver tails for this. So I'm going to get those coming. Wanted to take one of these boots apart and just see. There's this stainless steel tube that's a separate piece, and then there's a rubber plug in here. And I wanted to know what's going to happen when we take these apart and how they were going to come apart, whether I need to buy those or not. They should be okay, but somebody at one time had told me that you got to replace those plugs every time you take them out, like they're only good for one use. So just wanted to see what we got. Okay, well, I got that apart. This is the tube the anhydrous goes down through, so the hose attaches to the top side there. This is the bottom. There is a touch of wear on this corner, but nothing that's going to cause any problems. That is still good. I see no reason why this won't work again. Just knock some dirt out of it. Everything looks fine. We will use that again. Here is the boot. Here is a new boot. Look at the wear on that. This area in here particularly, square cornered, flat bottom to completely rounded. Right in here, this is where that tube comes down through this hole here. That's completely worn off on that side. This notch, this is where the beaver tail bolts up to. Completely gone. Nothing left of that there. Flip them over. You can see the same thing here. We've got this notch completely gone on that side. Up here, they're not so bad because there's nothing that really wears there. If I can hold it, let me see here. I can't really hold it too well, but you can see the difference in thickness in those two and how much material is gone. Specifically, yeah, I can't. Right here versus here. Even up here on this tail, there's some worn off. So those are getting replaced. I know some of you are going to tell me to hard surface it. It's too far gone. And even if I put some on here, like they've already got these built way up. It's just part of the deal on these. They wear. It's okay. I did add it up, and for boots and beaver tails on all of this, it's less. It was like $1,200 or something like that, which is less than $1 an acre in wear. Like that's not bad. It's yeah, I know it's something, and you got to do it. And blades are going to add on to that, but they're not an every year thing. So all told, we're well under $2 an acre in wear parts to run this. Probably closer to $1.25-ish, I would guess. I don't feel like that's bad. All right, well, we ended up with about 1/10 and a half of rain there. Not much, just got everything a little wet. I'm gonna go home. We got some parts ordered. I worked on some chemical stuff, trying to figure out when and what to spray beans with. I think the second time the post-emerge pass, they're not all the same, and the post-emerge pass needs to be 4 weeks after the pre-emerge pass, and that was spread out over a month, so it's going to be a while before some of them are ready, but some of them need to be done tomorrow, theoretically. So, anyway, I'm going home. I tried getting the boys to come with me. They will not. They are going to stay with Grandpa. I'm sure he gets tired of them after a while, but I'm glad that he's willing to keep them and watch them, that they can hang out with him, and that they enjoy it, so that's good. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. Have you guys been over to farmfocus.com yet to check out my merchandise? Go get yourself a shirt, hat, stickers. Stickers available now. Farmfocus.com. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.